So going from $0 to $100,000 is all about the product and the quantity of that product. But going from that product, now that you have it, to the 7-figure is all about your mindset, is about your team, and it's about your systems and procedures. Hey, this is Iman our guy, and today I'm answering one of the questions I got on Facebook from Natasha, and she asked, what is the difference for you in running a 6-figure business versus a 7-figure business? What were the key factors in growing from the 6 figures to the 7 figures? And did you notice any stages in between that were tricky hurdles to cross? Okay, so long question. Very good question. And as you guys know, I run several 7-figure businesses, and I started all of them from 6 figures. Well, I started from the 0, went to 6 figures, and then took them from 6 figures to 7 figures, right? So that's actually a great question, and a great question to ask from me, because I've done this several times to go from 0 to 7 figures in different companies. So one of the biggest things, I think, from going from 0 to 6 figures, one of the most, by the way, if you guys don't know, like some people may not know what 6 figures means. 6 figures means the business means about $100,000 to $999,999, so under $1 million. And then 7 figures means between $1 million to $9,999,999, right? So the question here is that what's the difference going from 0 to $100,000, and the difference from taking the company from $100,000 to going over $1 million, okay? So I think the biggest difference, or the thing is that when you are going from 0 to $100,000, is all about your product. You know, it's actually, there are 100,000 ways to make $100,000, right? I talk about this in my other videos as well. But you can actually sell one thing at $100,000, 2 things at $50,000, or you can sell 100,000 things at $1. And all of them generate $100,000 for you, right? When you begin your journey as a business owner, probably the first step, like the first place you want to get is 6 figures, right? Like right away you want to get yourself to 6 figures. Do you have a business if you are making $75,000? Well, you have a job, okay? A business is something that you can separate yourself from and it still runs on its own, right? So sometimes people say, what's the difference between being a self-employed and having a business? Well, the difference is this. As a self-employed, you have a job that pays you something. As a business owner, you have a business that you can separate yourself from it and it still runs on its own, right? Doesn't mean you have to, like I haven't separated myself from many of my 7-figure businesses because I love them. It's my passion, it's something that I'm excited about. I want to go to work for them, right? But still, I can separate myself. I can go on a 10-week vacation if I want to with a little bit of planning, and it still would work on its own, right? So here's the thing. Going from 0 to 6 figure at that beginning stage, right? At that beginning stage, the biggest thing that takes you there is having a good product with a good market. So the way that I look at it is like, can you get enough quantity to pay the affordable price that you have, right? So I say quantity times affordability, right? For example, you can build a 6-figure business if you build a $50,000 product that 2 people want to buy, and bam, you're making 6 figures. You're selling 2 things at $50,000, right? Or you can create a $4,000 product that 25 people want to buy. Again, you're making $100,000. So that's the first step. It's like finding a product that has a great price, that you can find enough people within a year to pay that price for it, and now you're at 6 figures. Now, sometimes you may want to build a business to 6 figures in 2 months, like I have done, right? Like I built one of my businesses in 50 days, going from 0 to $100,000. All we needed to find was actually a certain number of people to pay us $200 for a ticket to an event, and then have enough people at the event to buy our $15,000 and $10,000 program, right? So within 50 days, we did an event. We went from zero to making $10,000 for the event, and then we got people to the event, and then we sold several packages at $10,000, $15,000. We made 6 figures, right, in 50 days. So so it can be happen in a year, it can happen in a couple of months, doesn't matter, right? But what matters is that you find enough people within the time frame that you want to pay you the amount of the price to actually kind of build the 6 figures, right? That's the biggest challenge when you are starting from scratch to go to 6 figures. But now that you are in 6 figures, taking it to 7 figures is actually much more different, because now you have a product that people want to buy, that enough people want to buy. But now you also need to provide services to enough number of people who have paid you that price. So let's say I've sold 25 packages at $4,000. Now I gotta serve these 25 people who have paid $4,000, so they have an expectation of a $4,000 client. Or if I've sold a $10,000 package, I have 10 people who have paid me $10,000, so they have expectations like a $10,000 client. So I gotta have customer service to be able to expand. Because if I wanna go to $1 million on a $10,000 product, that means I gotta sell 100 of these packages, and 100 of these packages require customer support. It requires marketing team. It requires my mindset. It requires the support. It requires support from the bank. It requires support from other things, right? So going from $0 to $100,000 is all about the product and the quantity of that product. But going from that product, now that you have it, to the 7 figure is all about your mindset, is about your team, and it's about your systems and procedures. You can easily have a 6-figure business, a $100,000 business, with barely any systems, barely any procedures. Why? Because you are doing all the work yourself. You're doing all the work yourself, or most of the work yourself. You may have a couple of team members that kind of are working a few hours, right? But you don't have a big team that requires systems and procedures. You don't have human resource issues. You don't have like lots of other things, right? We're going from 6 figures to 7 figures is all about having systems, having standards of procedures, having processes, having the right team, having the right mindset, and having the right programs, internal software, all of those things, so you can actually run the company. So that's the biggest difference between going from 0 to 6 figures and 6 figures to 7 figures. But here is another piece. You get yourself to 7 figures. Now, sometimes I ask people this question: do you think it's easier to run a 7-figure company, or it's easier to run a 6-figure company? And everybody answers 6-figure company, but that's not true. It's much easier to run a 7-figure company, and here is why. In a 7-figure company, you have systems and procedures. You can step back and you can allow your team take care of stuff. Yes, you have to deal with human resource issues. Yes, you have to deal with building systems. Yes, you have to get on strategic calls, right? But the implementation happens through your team, which allow you to work on the business instead of in the business. And when you work on the business, you can expand the company even further. But when you're working inside the business, then you are always seeing the problems and the challenges and the stuff that are happening inside the business. And that doesn't help you to expand the company. So going from 6 figures to 7 figures requires a lot of system building and procedure building, all of those stuff, a lot of strategic movements. But performing at 7 figures requires a lot of strategic work on the company to expand it to 8 figures. So I just keep that in mind. Yes, there are work. Yes, it's important, but you gotta remember this, that if you are under 6 figures, just find an in-demand product that people are willing to pay for. That's it. Don't worry about anything else. Just go for that. Just take care of that piece. If you are at 6 figures, then it's the time to start building procedures, write stuff you do, and hiring team. Now, we're gonna have several other videos, not even one, several other videos that are going to be about human resources, how to hire team members, how to get them to buy into your vision, all of those. So make sure that you watch all of those, because all of those are important. You can have team members at 6 figures, like when you are making like $100,000, you can still have team members. But those team members that you bring on board make a huge impact, and it's an important decision which one you bring first and what to do and stuff like that. You can watch all of that in our human resource videos in my blog, or just kind of in the YouTube channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, on Facebook, you can find all of the videos there. Okay, so I look forward to seeing you in one of those videos. I hope that this helped you to actually kind of give you a little bit better mindset and better idea about how to go from 0 to 6 figures, how to go from 6 figures to 7 figures, and how you can expand from 7 figures and further. Looking forward to seeing you in one of my other videos.